edition of, you guessed it, official Patriot News Live. It's your host Joel Davis. Got the music going and stuff, just like Nature Boy on this joint, man. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, man. We lost some legends this week, man. First, it was Malcolm Jamal Warner. Then after that, we got Ozzy Osbourne, and now we got Hulk Hogan. Again, I know a lot of people don't like Hulk Hogan because of his past, but you know what? I don't care, because at the end of the day, he did his thing when it came to his job of being a wrestler, and you gotta respect it, man. Gotta respect it. I am back, boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I was streaming yesterday, and I don't know what happened, man, but things got crazy. Like, I had my kids coming in the room, and then I had some situations I had to do, and depending on, to make a long story short, I had to downsize. You know what I'm saying? Uh, don't have my PC no more due to life. That's why I tell people to donate and stuff. I had to downsize, I had to borrow somebody's laptop because I could not financially afford my PC. Hopefully, I have a PC back in the future. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm still gonna make it do what it do, because at the end of the day, it's about you guys. That's what it's about. A little technical difficulty, but I think I've solved it now. Like I said, I'm using a laptop that's a little smaller than what I'm used to, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna try to make it work. So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my notes up so we can discuss what's going on tonight. Get my ducks in a row. I was running around with my dogs, trying to get my dogs and stuff taken care of, and I had everything written out for the night for the show, and then all of a sudden it was like it's nowhere to be found. So I was like, man, really? But you know, it happens. You know, that's a part of life. You know, things happen, but I'm trying to make sure I have everything that you guys are looking for. All right, now I have it. All right, so first things first, we got a lot of things we're gonna talk about tonight on the podcast and everything. We're gonna discuss uh the Jacksonville police officer lawsuit. Now, a lot of people are saying that it is police brutality, and some people are saying it's not justified. Um, I will let y'all be the judge of that. We've already, if you already seen the links, I'm not going to show the whole beginning of the interaction. I'm just going to show you the press conference of what the gentleman is talking about, what he went through, what he experienced, and that's going to be basically what I will be addressing this evening. Um, let's see. Let me bring up make sure I can talk to my Rumble people while I'm at it too, because I know you guys like to interact with me while I'm doing my thing. All right, so we also going to talk about Shannon Sharpe, the lawsuit that has gotten everybody looking at him side eyed. We're going to talk about why he settled and the reason behind it. We also going to talk about Obama role in the Russian hoax, which is now back under fire. We also going to talk about the judges being fired currently right now, um, and how ICE is basically having a hard time trying to round up the illegal immigrants that are considered violent. And we also going to talk about how Californians are fleeing California and how it's now reshaping these other states. So please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top if you definitely love this podcast. Also, this podcast will be edited into its entirety when I get through with it this evening on my official Patriot News Live. So definitely we'll talk about that. And then this just seeing too, my wife just texted me another legend going, rest in peace, Chuck Managone. He was also a jazz legend. So if you're jazz fans, uh he was a great as well. So let's jump into the GSO uh situation here. And y'all give me 1 minute. I'm trying to come up. Now, this is about William McNeil Jr. This was I'm gonna pull up news for Jax right quick and share it with y'all. The press conference he had with his attorneys. gonna. And this is CBS News Miami. So this is fair use, fair use. I was trying to find news for Jack, so we'll use that. So let me give me a second here. This is fair use. We're gonna go and look at this clip right here, and then I'm gonna play it, and then after we play it, I will give you my commendation of what I feel about it. All right, y'all, just bear with me. All right, so since I'm having technical difficulties playing videos, what I'll do is I'll play it through my cell phone through the mic, let y'all hear it that way, and then we'll go and I'll give you my commentary on it. So give me 1 second here. And sorry for the noise in the background. My neighbor's cutting grass.
Hearing from the man who was punched by a police officer during a traffic stop in Jacksonville. CBS Miami morning anchor Betty Witt is here. And Betty, that man was joined by his family and civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Yes, that's right. Just over an hour ago, in fact, we got our first look at 22-year-old William McNeil Jr. after his violent arrest that you see here. It went viral. And he stood next to his parents while his attorney stated that some of his injuries are permanent. Now, his chipped tooth was still visible as he very briefly explained what happened.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over, and why I needed to step out of the car, and I knew I didn't do nothing wrong.
comes as we see a new angle of that traffic stop. Now, the sheriff released body cam video of the arrest. I want you to take a look at it.
Is there a reason that you're pulling me over? Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you have your lights on. Two things, you don't wear your seatbelt. I don't need the lights. It's not raining. It's not raining. Oh, so it's not raining. Okay, I'm not.
Now I'm gonna briefly pause this for a minute. You can see the whole thing if you look it up on YouTube and things of that nature. This is where you mess up at. This is where a lot of Black Americans, especially us, mess up at. If the police pull you over and you know you have a right to prove that it was unjustifiable, you cannot do it in the street. You're not gonna win because the street is the police area, it's their domain. It's like trying to break in somebody out of prison by going in the prison where the guards are already at the gate all the way through the whole prison, and you by yourself. You ain't gonna make it. You already know what's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So what you have to do, and this is common sense, do apply. You make note of what they said. If you have to take a picture of how the weather is while they're talking or record it or whatever for your argument in court, you do that and you respectfully follow what they're telling you. Because again, you can fight it in court. Sometimes you don't even have to have a lawyer. You can actually ask the judge respectfully, can I bring in my cell phone so I can prove to you how the weather was like that day? I can prove to you that when the cops pulled up, they didn't even have their lights on. This is how you fight your cases respectfully in court. Because in court, if you're coming with it like that, 9 out of 10, the judge is gonna be like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with all this. Let's knock his ticket down or throw the ticket out or give you a warning or whatever. But being combative is not the answer. Let's continue.
I'm telling you, I'm pulling you over. Give me a driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. Step out of here. Step out of here.
This is where he messed up at. I'm sorry. I know a lot of Black folks is gonna be like, well, he should have been. He had every right. No, he did not have every right. They still asked him respectfully to get out of the vehicle. He should have got out of the vehicle. Should have waited for the supervisor. Tell the supervisor what he felt. And if he still got the ticket, take it to court. That's what it's for. The ticket is a documentation to help you take it to court. Going out here and trying to fight it on the street, this is what happens. You put yourself in a trick bag. Now you done got in a car. Now you done locked the door. Now you done put yourself in a resisting arrest situation. And now this is how everything goes downhill.
Okay, so after shutting his door, McNeil refused to exit his car and then kept requesting a supervisor. Officials say he was asked 7 times to step out of his vehicle, but he never did. Now, the state attorney's office found none of the officers violated criminal law. The sheriff is also defending his deputies, and that deputy seen punching McNeil. He is on paid administrative leave pending an internal investigation. As for McNeil, he pleaded guilty to resisting a police officer without violence and driving with a suspended license. However, his attorneys say police stopped McNeil over bogus claims of driving without headlights in broad daylight and not wearing a seatbelt when video shows he was wearing a seatbelt.
DK Waters, this is Director Ed Cayenne from.
All right, you heard that, you saw that. Listen, guys, I'm going to put it to you like this. How this is also makes Black folks look bad even worse. You was acting crazy because you ain't even had a driver's license. You wasn't valid driver's license. So you did all that to keep from going to jail. Now, let's say, for instance, that we play devil's advocate, that you would have stepped out the car and would have complied and showed driver's license registration. You would have still went to jail, but you would have went to jail peacefully. They would have arrested you. You could have went to the police department. You probably could have bonded out like it wasn't nothing. But no, you made yourself go through something you ain't had to go through. That's another thing. Another thing that's about everybody puzzled, and I will tell you why he did what he did. This happened in February, and this just came out like last week. Yes, he's trying to get a lawsuit. Now, let me tell you why he may have a chance on the lawsuit, which I know. Shout out to my boy Officer Tatum. He had to get some people straight. And listen, guys, all us content creators that are conservative or even non-conservative, if they've been in law enforcement, they have a right to their opinion and to defend their brothers in blue. Because if I'm part of the Navy, and I definitely in the armed forces, and I definitely try to stand up for my veteran. And it is what it is. Now, if the veteran is wrong, yeah, I'll call it out. But most of the time, you already know we're gonna stand up for our veterans, just like he's gonna stand up for the police, and that's respectful. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I had a problem with was dude hitting dude on the side of the face like he did. Now I know that a lot of cops told me that my friends said well that was a open palm strike, which it looked like a damn punch, but I digress. They said it was an open palm strike, and they did that to try to immobilize him or whatever to make it where they could get him out the car and stuff faster. My thing was, why didn't y'all do like everybody else I've always seen? They will knock out the glass and open the door, even whether it's a woman or a man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can tell that he didn't have a weapon on him, he was only talking aggressive, as in he wasn't a supervisor. He wasn't trying to be combative physically, he was just being combative verbally. And I felt like that's what they should have done to me personally. I mean, I would have went, knocked the glass out. You know, you already gonna unlock the door, whatever, unlock the door and 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 um and yanked him out. That's what I would have done. Now I know after they did that, they knocked the glass and then he got that palm strike. He said, "Let me see your hands." He saw his hands, and old boy was like on front of the steering wheel, and do say, "Yeah, here my hands." And I think that that really pissed off the officer, and that's how it went even more crazy. Now, I did not like them striking him when he was putting his hand behind his back. Now I understand that a lot of officers that review said, "Oh, you know, that's standard procedure," because he was still he was still verbally and being physically combative, not trying to allow us to put it all the way in the back. Okay, I understand, but damn, do you got to keep hitting him? And then I seen him hitting him standing up. I seen that part too. Like I said before, I felt like that the force that was getting upon him was because of frustration because he did not listen to the police at the original time. Do I feel like it was justified? Hell no, you shouldn't have done that. You done already got him out the truck. Y'all should have did y'all little moves, y'all PowerPoints. Y'all should have just hit him on his legs like y'all normally do, and not hit him on the side of the neck, the legs, dog. Like what's going on? Hit him on the side of the leg, get him down. I mean, he wasn't that big anyway, and that was it. But hey, like I said, that's my personal opinion. I have never been a cop, and they say that's their protocol. They justify it. I don't know. I don't feel like it was a very justifiable thing to do because it makes the community, especially the community, feel uncomfortable. But me personally, I felt like that's where they messed up at. They shouldn't have just put hands on him physically like that. They should have just drug him out the car and arrested him. That's all I felt like they should have done. But again, I digress. Now let's talk about this lawsuit. What's probably going to happen? I'm going to tell you like this: they are probably going to settle because this is bad for Jacksonville, and nobody um wants that on their watch. So I'm quite sure they are going to settle. Oh, it's going to happen. Claude, I'm back. Nah, man, I decided to give it a go, my brother. I am revamping. I have decided to rebrand. I just had to take some time to rebrand. Thank you so much for supporting, brother. Share, we back. but I decided to rebrand. So we're back. Tonight I ain't gonna be able to show no videos because I'm on a Bard computer, so laptop. So I'm gonna have to do everything the old school way, like I did when I first got up. But hey, you're still gonna get good commentary. You're still gonna get good sound bites and footage. So we're gonna move right on along, guys. Yep, this is the new channel, brother. This is the new channel. You got it. Share it with your friends. This is the new channel. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna make it work, baby. We're gonna make it work. So let me give me 1 second here. Let me pull up my sheet. Oh my god. I tell you, I'm still trying to figure out technology. All righty. So, like I said before, please keep in mind that the gentleman that did the knockout, and I'm gonna finish this up. Oh, I'm gonna stay around this time. Um, and also follow my true crime too, brother. You can't make this BS up. Definitely follow that. I definitely gonna be. I got a lot of streams on that going on as well too. On content going on. So anyway, to make a long story short, my friends, is Benjamin Crump. You know the ambulance chaser. He's on the case, so they're probably gonna settle. Uh, William McNeil Jr. probably gonna get a little money. Him and his family, and they have suspended the gentleman that was behind this, D. Bowers. I don't know his first name, but I know his last name is Bowers, Officer D. Bowers. He is on administrative leave. They stripped him of all his arresting and policing powers until they finish the internal investigation, which is standard procedure, especially in this right here, because he struck the gentleman. So when you got a lawsuit because of striking and everything else, everybody has to look at his file, see if he's over aggressive, the norm. And then they will revisit back and you'll find out if he's going to be fired or not. I don't think he's going to get fired because it's too many people going to bat for him in the back the blue. And once they get like that, they're not going to back down. So I think that after 30 days or even 45 days, he'll probably be back on the force. But this time he'll probably be a lot more careful. All righty, let's talk about the next thing. Shannon Sharpe, baby. Shannon Sharpe, Shannon Sharpe. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So let's talk about. So y'all know earlier this year, Shannon Sharpe had got hit with a lawsuit by a young OnlyFans girl named Gabriella Zuniga. Now, Gabriella Zuniga considers herself a fitness nut. She is a very attractive young lady. You know what I'm saying? She has an OnlyFans, which used to have an OnlyFans. She used to charge guys $25,000 per cheek. That means to kiss it, whatever you want to do per cheek back there in the rear end. So she made a lot of money at the time doing her thing. Well, apparently, a couple of years ago, when she was 19, Shannon Sharpe, Uncle Shay Shay, he was doing his workout and he saw this beautiful, exotic Brazilian snow bunny and lost his mind. Went over there asking for her number. Yeah, man, they took it down, Claude. They took it down. That's why they took my channel down. So I had to revamp, brother. I don't have access to it. They took that down in my other channel for my crime stories down. So once they took that, they all connected to each other. So I have no access to any of those channels no more. So they're just up there for, I guess, memorial purposes. So I had to revamp. So anyway, and don't you worry, guys. I do talk to you guys while y'all come in. So please enjoy that. He saw her the first night. She swear out that she was so nervous to meet uh Shannon Sharpe, and she wound up meeting him. Went to his house, his big old mansion in Las Vegas, and before you know it, they done the deed. Now, during the times they were together, the highlights of I guess Uncle Shay Shay's life, he thought he had a real one. She was yeah, yeah, she was a real one. Hold on for a second. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. So anyway, he got to the point that him doing all that stuff with this girl, he was even recording them having relations in front of his buddy Bucket. He was like, Bucket, look at what I got going on here, baby. Let me tell you what I got going here, Cook Book. You know how Shannon Sharpe talk. Let me tell you what I got going on here, Cook. Hey, look at her, man. Ain't she good? Ain't she good, Bucket? Man. Woo-wee. All I need is some hen dog and this Swiss is sweet with her, and we a match made in heaven. But somewhere along the line, the relationship soured to the point that she released text messages after filing for him saying that he was abusing her and all that stuff. She released messages about he actually forced himself on her and all that stuff. Well, you know, Shannon Sharpe, he's from the old South. He released his own recollection where she was saying that she wanted him to do these things and she wanted to be abused, and even went as far as saying she wanted a big black baby in the front. It's crazy. So you could kind of tell that this was some twisted what they call that joint black I want to say BDSM situation. He was master, she was slave. Well, after all this went out, you know, he had to step away from ESPN. He wasn't getting that many people coming on his show for Club Shay Shay like that anymore. So his nightcap show was the only one he was really looked like he was focusing on. But this week, he settled. Now, some said he settled for the full $50 million. But experts are saying that it was between probably 33 to about 35 million. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. It was probably about $40 million. And let me tell you why. Because Tony Bugsby, which was Gabriella attorney, he got to get his money. I mean, that's just what it is. He's going to get his 30%. All right. So to pay him 30% of 40, I'm quite sure he's comfortable with $12 million because it's got to be more than 10 million because he ain't working for free. Then you got to look at too, after that is taken away from the equation, that leaves her with about $28 million. So with $28 million, she can set up projects, she can do whatever, make money flip for her. Now, there is some speculation of what I'm going to tell y'all, and this is my thought, why he settled and why he did it. The reason being is because Shannon Sharpe is a household name in the black community, especially. He's going to have a lot of companies that is going to be trying to court him to get consumers to buy from him, right? Because when you see Club Shay Shay, if you into sports and you're into ESPN and you into all that stuff, especially you as being a black American, that's what you're gonna be like. Yo, I'm going to Club Shay Shay. I'm with, that's how they gonna talk. That's what they gonna do. So going on Club Shay Shay means that, or having him in front of the brand means that he can be able to make them money and he gets paid handsomely as well. So that's number one. Number two, he was about to sign with a major group for his podcast. He was about to get $100 million. Now they could have advanced him the 50 million up front, say, hey, here, Shannon, take this, handle your legal fees, and we'll pay you the rest whenever you start coming on board, or whenever you start so many days into the contract, or the rest throughout the contract, or however long he signed. Or they could have said another third scenario, you know what, Shannon, we're gonna bump it up to 150 or $200 million contract, you know what I'm saying? And you can take whatever out of that you need an advancement of 100 and do what you need up front. Or last scenario, and this could be, I've heard of companies doing this. They could have, the company themselves could have went on head on and just paid it out for him, gave him the money. Hey man, we just gonna pay it for you. We're gonna drop in your account. Don't even worry about that. That's just our gift to you. You ain't got to pay this back. And might have went on head on and raised the stakes a little higher into the deal to gain him to be there. Now, here's the thing. People saying that he may not be back on ESPN. I personally feel like he will. And let me tell you why. It's because, again, it's all about having him in front of an audience. Shay Shay kept the viewers' ratings up and increased with Stephen A. Smith. So he is still Stephen A. Smith's buddy. I would not be surprised if they have decided to go ahead on, give him a shot to go back on the show and slowly introduce him, get the numbers up, and everybody forget. Because y'all got to understand, people forget this stuff. They do. They always do. The community forget because it's Uncle Shay Shay. Now, what is my advice to Uncle Shay Shay from now on? Quit messing with young girls, bro. That's younger than you. You are 56 years old, 57 years old. Them 20-year-olds, they gonna look at you like a check. Get you a grown-ass woman. A woman that got something to lose just like you do. Someone your age bracket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying. But if you still want to mess around with these crazy behind skeezers or whatever you got going on with your fantasy sexual life that you got to get satisfied, you need to make sure you get some clauses signed, get you your lawyer to help you figure this out. These all these clauses. And if they don't want to sign them clauses, guess what? Don't deal with them. Tell them kick rocks. Go. What's going on? Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm back. Yeah. Your boy back. Share with everybody. I'm back, man. Just not cursing like I used to. I dubbed it down a lot. Just trying to make it where we straightforward to the point with all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what he should do. We're gonna keep moving forward though. We're gonna go back to the one everybody want to talk about, the Obama and the Russian hoax. Let's talk about what Tulsi Gabbard is saying about this hoax. I'm gonna play some of the clip of what Tulsi Gabbard is saying about the hoax, and see and let you hear for yourself why these people running scared. All right. Again, this is fair use like always, man. Let me play it right quick for y'all. Right quick. I gotta pull it up. Let me see. Maybe this clip not that last that long. Let's see. And I'm finna play this clip right here at a news conference, which was yesterday. Let me show y'all. Let me let y'all hear from the beginning.
They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. Spokesperson for President Obama hitting back with this: our office does not normally dignify the content, nonsense, and misinformation flowing out of the White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. That was on Tuesday when this all started to come out. Congressman Jim Jordan is standing by with his reaction to what we just heard from the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, but first to national correspondent Griff Jenkins, live covering this for us as it breaks from the White House. Hi, Griff.
Hi, Martha. Well, DNI Tulsi Gabbard certainly surprised us at today's White House briefing, laying out key findings from documents related to the Russia hoax, as the White House likes to call it, and particularly focusing in on a report from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence from 2020 based on an investigation from 3 years prior. Listen here.
In the January 2017 Intelligence Community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory.
Classified, Martha, also states that former CIA Director Brennan, quote, ordered the post-election publication of 15 reports containing previously collected but unpublished intelligence, 3 of which were substandard, containing information that was unclear, of uncertain origin, potentially biased or implausible, and those became foundational sources for the ICA judgments that Putin preferred Trump over Clinton. The report comes the day after President Trump accused his predecessor of treason. Gabbard now says she's leaving that up to the DOJ and the FBI.
All right, so you finally you heard that. So they're leaving it up to the DOJ and the FBI to sort this thing out. Now, I would love to see Obama be held accountable because he definitely ticked me off recently with his last when he was on the podcast with his wife. Oh my God, man. Oh man. I really wanted to go in on his behind. But you know what? I chilled out and I said, you know what? I will save that for tonight's episode and break that down with y'all as well next. But anyway, basically, what they found out in 2016 is that Mueller's report found no criminal conspiracy between Trump and Russia. They knew there was no conspiracy. But at the end of the day, they had all these other documents, and they decided that they were going to try to um, hide it because they was so sure that Hillary was going to win. Because Hillary was winning what? The popular vote in 2016. But she didn't win the electoral vote. And when that happened, they decided to try to just basically hide it under the rug. And then they tried to switch it around and say, "Oh, we know how he won." Whenever they talked to Obama about it, while Obama was still there, okay, well, if that happens, we're going to say that Russia was involved, allegedly. And unfortunately, that's not the case. There was never no proof. But there was proof that they were doing some messed up stuff. And they know it too. And it's sad, but true. It really is. It's really sad that we had to come to this. And with that disinformation campaign, we're talking about Trump was banned from Facebook. He was banned from a lot of social media platforms because of this. This really hurt him tremendously while he was in office the first time. They just attacked him so bad that they had everybody believing that Trump was this monster. Thank God I started free thinking and researching this stuff on my own. And it's all began on December 9th of 2016, after the election. They knew that he won. They didn't like that he won, and they had to make it make sense to their liberal base that, hey, we did everything right. It was all Trump. You know, he colluded with Russia. So at the end of the day, are there going to be any consequences? I don't know, man, because right now with the DOJ, I don't know if there are going to be any consequences or not. People are still upset about Trump not releasing the Epstein files, and people saying it is because his name is in it. I personally don't care what his name is on the Epstein files. And if his name was in the Epstein files for doing some shady stuff, believe me, they would have been exposed him for that, along with the Hollywood. But to me, I don't think his name is really on there like that. I think it's the Hollywood elites that's more worried about it than he is, because their name show is on it. I mean, there's a lot of them that left the country that had their name on that ledger, but I digress. But all I know is a lot of misinformation is going on, but that does not mean that just because there's a speculation that he has something to do with all this Epstein mess, that he's not doing a good job for the country. Because right now, he's definitely doing what he needs to do to keep this country afloat. But now we're moving back right along to Obama. Oh, yeah. Y'all thought I forgot about his ass. Oh, no. We ain't forgot about Obama. Let's talk about what Obama did this week. Okay? Let's talk about that. Okay? Let's go into this right quick. And let's talk about Obama's speech. I'm probably will go live again. I want to say the next time off. I know I'm going live today, so I'll probably go live again next week, because I'm gonna go by how much information and sources that I'm getting. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it, man. But it'll be no less than once a week. I'll go live and then I'll be having videos throughout the week for you guys to check out. Y'all just gotta have your notifications, and also too donate to the channel because it's gonna help us grow. Because this time this channel will be at 100K. Not gonna play no games with nobody. We will be at 100K, one way or the other, and hopefully within a year. That's the goal. Y'all give me 1 second. So we about to play a clip where Obama says the following. Now, this right here is the craziest clip that I have ever seen. Oh, yes, I am, sir. I'm in it to win. You damn right. Excuse my expression, but yeah, you damn right. We back. I'm determined. We will build a powerhouse. With that in my true crime collective as well. Oh yeah, I'm in it, bro. I'm definitely in it. I got a goal. I'm getting older, and it's time for me to go after what I know I'm good at. And I'm attacking social media in all levels. All right, so let me let y'all hear what this fool said. Here we go.
I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out. Who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who is gay or not binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. I had a gay professor.
All right, I'm done with that. So I want y'all to understand something. Obama is preaching that every male, hetero male, young man growing up should have an automatic LGBTQ plus mentor. Now, before I go in, I have nothing against the alphabet soup community. If that's your thing, that is your thing. I have nothing against anyone in the alphabet soup community being a mentor to a child long as it's within reason. Long as it's talking about the morals of the child being able to be productive and to be an law-abiding citizen and to look out for their fellow man without pushing any rhetoric on them. But I do have a problem is when you're telling me that a child has to have a alphabet soup community person to be their mentor. That's like telling somebody that they have to have a car to travel to see the world place to place. It's not necessarily true. I know a lot of people that move around through life without ever having a car. They have a bicycle. They have access to a cab. They have access to public transportation. They have access to things to get where they need to get. Now, granted, yes, not having a car is difficult to move around the way you want to move around, but most of the time, if you're in a big city or you have access of options to move around, you'll be able to move around. Now, we already know that you do need food, water, and shelter. That's just something that everybody needs. Even if you're homeless, you use something as a shelter base to protect you from the elements of the world until you can find better. Again, that is just normal. That is actually um, very normal and commonplace. But for you to sit here and tell me that a heterosexual child has to have an LGBTQ plus community person to have empathy and to be kind, that is asinine. No, you do not. See, here's the problem with that statement. If you are a good parent, okay, if you are a good parent or set of parents, your children will already know what it's like to be kind. They already know what it's like to do what they need to do without somebody looking. They already know what it's like to do the right thing without being told. Because when you come from a good family, those values stick with you. Now, there's that 1% of the bad seed that comes from those good families that do not listen and do want to be out there and be a thug. That just happens. But most of the time, 98% of the time, people that come from a good home that has those values utilize those values sooner or later. Or especially when they see someone really get violated or humiliated, they finally get enough and just stand up. Because that's just the value system that you was raised upon. That does not mean that you have to have someone that is of that lifestyle to remind you to be kind. No, it does not mean that. If you go to church and you really into the old church family, and there's a positive church family that is not hypocritical, I know that that's not many out there, but if you do come from that background, they'll tell you the same thing. He who has never committed sin cast the first stone. I don't see nobody casting no stones, so that means you have committed some sins out there. So no, Obama, that is not the right narrative. This is again an LGBTQ plus push it on my kids narrative. The thing that America has been trying to fight against. And nobody wants to listen to that because when we talk about these things, now we're considered to be LGBTQ plus phobic. We're not this, we're not that. No, we just want you guys to understand that you can be involved in teaching our kids if that's your job. You can be involved into being in our community and helping us as a fellow man. But what you are not going to do is force your preferences on us. Just like we're not going to force our preferences on you. Because who would I be as a hetero male, go to the alphabet soup community and force my hetero desires or preferences on them? That would be what? That's me being forceful. That's me being not giving them a chance to respect their decisions on how they move and how they operate. That's what we're talking about. Same thing if religion. If I'm a person that is Muslim and I see someone that is Baptist and I'm going up here and I'm pushing my Muslim belief in them because I'm tired of seeing them eating pork every morning. Guess what I'm doing? I'm forcing my stuff on them. And that's what we're talking about. Those slick talking points is what we can't stand. Hold on. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. The dog is acting crazy. So yeah, that's just where we at. We cannot keep doing this. It is just not right. And no, I don't support his talking point on that. We don't need that as an American. We don't need that. What we really need is we just need people to step up and do the right thing and teach their children accordingly. That's all you got to do. Men, you need to be in the homes. Women, you need to allow these men to help you raise these boys. If you got a man or you dealing with a baby father or whatever that really want to be around, take that as a blessing and run with it. Quit trying to be like these other women out here talking about, oh, he ain't doing that for me and all that. No, quit doing that because that's what's wrong now with these kids. They ain't got no role models. They ain't got nothing. They just shooting blanks. They just shooting blanks, man. Real talk. And no kid deserved that. So I'm checking to see anybody on my Rumble live. Y'all get the likes up on my Rumble. Let's see what we got on YouTube. I ain't even been to my YouTube yet. I'm gonna check that out too. Cause I'm on my like I said, I'm on a little laptop, so I can't really see a lot of stuff. So I'm going back and forth and checking to see what's what. So if I don't acknowledge you or something like that, some of these chats I can't see. I can see the chats coming from the YouTube and everything else. I just can't see the chats that's coming from the other stuff from what they call that joint. Oh my god. I just said it just now. I can't see the chats that's coming from Rumble. But if you got Rumble, definitely, man, definitely come through. Definitely come through. Definitely come through. Definitely come through. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second here. Let me get back to the clip. Because I know we got a lot of ground to cover. All right, so moving right along, we are going to talk about immigration judges. Oh, oh, Lord, have mercy. Y'all didn't see that today, but man, let me tell you, Trump is not playing. So y'all know that Trump has been trying to get illegals and stuff out of the country that are violent and things of that nature. Y'all know that every time he tries or everything he does, there's a liberal judge that's like, nope, that's wrong. Or nope, you can't do that. Nope, they're always setting a stumbling block. Well, the DOJ started looking at some of the stats in these cases approval ratings on what they normally do when it comes to illegal immigrants asking to not when they have these cases where these illegal immigrants have to leave this country because of the things that they got going on. Okay, due to legal status or they saying, oh, well, I'm going for political asylum, ain't adding up. Basically, after looking at these case by case basis, we're supposed to be approving them to stay in the country between 34 to 35%. That means roughly about 56%, not even 66% of those that come in front of the court do not get to stay. They go back to where they came from. And that's fine because you don't want to have an overflux of immigrants in a country like America because we don't have the infrastructure to put everybody everywhere. We ain't balling like that. Yeah, we one of the richest countries, but at the same time, we don't have the infrastructure to put everybody everywhere. So anyway, these judges that they've been over these cases lately, their approval rating of making sure that these illegals stay in the country is as high as damn near 80%. Wait a minute. Why are we getting an 80% rating over making sure that these jokers stay in the country when they shouldn't? Well, I'm about to play a clip of the immigrant judges that are recently getting fired and what they got to say. So give me 1 second. This is another fair use source. So I'm about to play this for y'all. And everything else. Let me play this for you. Let's see here. There we go. I'm trying to bring up the recent guys. Hold on. All right, I found it, guys. Sorry about that. It took me a little minute, but we found it. And we're about to play a clip where they are finding out the hard way. And here we go.
Fired, joining a growing number of immigration judges throughout the country being dismissed by the Trump administration, even as a record 3.5 million cases are clogging the system. Multiple sources have confirmed to our investigative team that Judge Ela Deese of San Francisco and Judge Kyra Lillian of Concord are among 18 immigration judges recently dismissed. We spoke with the director of the San Francisco Bar Association's Immigrant Legal Defense Program to find out what's going on. We don't have a lot of information on the reasoning or why, or there's no official explanation that I can point to. But the concern is maybe these judges were not seen to align politically with the administration, and maybe that's why they were targeted.
Senior investigative reporter Bigat Chaban has reported extensively on immigration for us and joins us now. Bigat, what do we know about these two judges?
Hey, Garvin. Well, here's what we do know. So Judge Dice has actually been on the bench for about 8 years, and we certainly don't know why she may have been fired. We do know a factor that may have distinguished her from some of her colleagues. Here's what we're talking about. She's
Didn't I? What did I just say? She has granted the highest. She has the highest rate of granting asylum in the United States of America. And I'm talking about this in California. That means if you go to her as an illegal alien / immigrant in America, wherever you from, it could be from the enemy. You could be up here trying to set bombs and shit from Afghanistan. All you got to do is get in front of her in California. She gonna say, I grant you asylum. That's it. You ain't got to make a case. That's just how great of amount of asylums that she's doing. And that is unheard of. Who the freak does that? Not everybody in front of your face needs asylum. Nobody does that. And that's why they're saying hell to the nah. You gotta go, because that's too suspect. I mean, come on, man. Again, 30% rate. That's like a judge. That's like a judge that is supposed to be about the law, right? Your local magistrate judge. Every time you go, superior court judge. Every time you go up for big murder cases or big time cases that result in you to do at least 30 years plus of time. Every time, and they had a bench trial. Every bench trial you do, you always got 100% of not guilty. You gonna be like, wait a minute, bro. The state gonna be like, wait a minute. We had evidence proving this fool was not guilty. Oh no, sir. Some suspect shit going on. Let's continue.
90% of the asylum cases that have appeared on her docket. That's including some 2,000 cases. Judge Lillian has had a shorter tenure of less than 2 years. She's ruled on about 130 cases. But she also has a relatively high approval rating. She's approved some 76% of the asylum cases on her docket.
I want y'all to understand this: 70-something%, and she's only had 100 and something cases. So let's do the math. You got 105 cases, right? And you approved 70% of them joints. You know how many cases that is, bro? I'm about to help y'all do the math right quick. Hold on for a second. We about to do this math right quick. Hold on. Because this ain't good. So that means she's averaging 2 cases. So that means 10% out of let's say out of 150. She did already 10% of 150 is 15, right? So already 15 cases. Now she's up to 70. So we're going to times that by 7, right? You know what that's going to give us, right? I help you out. 105 to 106 cases this girl has approved out of 150. So that means only 43 people got sent back the way the hell they came from. 105 got to stay. Let that sink in. 45, I mean, people got sent the way they need to go, and 105 got to stay. So no, bro, that shit is asinine. That makes no sense. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be either political base or somebody around in California paying somebody some underhanded money. I'm going by political base. That's what it is. Let's continue.
Again, how unusual are firings like this? I mean, frankly, the legal experts that we have spoken to are saying this is unprecedented. There has never been a wave of firings like this in recent history. And the fear, according to immigration rights attorneys, is that this was in fact politically motivated. And this is coming at an incredibly inopportune time, they argue. This is when we have seen the largest immigration backlog that we have ever seen. Right now, cases.
That's another thing. That answers that too. You got backlog because y'all picking and choosing what cases you wanna go and try, because you already try, and when you do pick the ones you try, you don't want to go in and do the work as a judge to investigate or rule the right way. You just want to rule politically. Well, it's an immigration, and I want to get back at Trump because I'm a liberal, and that's that. We need people that can take the politics to the side and do your job. That's what we're asking for, and that's why Trump's firing them. You don't want to get fired, do your job. Quit letting them all get approved. Look at the damn evidence that they're giving you. Look at their history. If it don't match up, you gotta tell them. Latch it up. You gotta go back to where you came from. So yes, I stand with it. And by the way, I'm gonna try to do an episode shortly about in the future about the black Americans helping these immigrants, which I think is, to me, y'all need to stop. Yeah, we got too much problems in the community to be helping black immigrants, to be helping immigrants when half of these immigrants don't even like us. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is Californians leaving California. Now, the state population has dropped over 690,000 in domestic migration. But Governor Newsom keeps saying it's a myth. But stats is saying that Texans are moving to Texas, Arizona, Florida, and they're voting more conservative in some of these states too. They're actually following what in Georgia as well too, is one of those states in South Carolina. Some experts say that it could swing elections. Others say economics, not politics, drive the moves. But I don't think so. I think that it's more to it than that. I'm gonna play a clip while they saying Californians leaving California. I'm about to go ahead on, and it's not only just businesses. We're talking about residents too. So we're gonna talk about first why the businesses are leaving. This is want you to hear this clip from News Nation, and this is fair use, fair use.
We're going to talk about this. Joining me now is Asha Jadeja Mapwani, founder of the Mapwani Institute for Thought Leadership and Innovation and Silicon Valley venture capitalist who's invested in over 200 companies in the area. Asha, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy to have your perspective on this. You're a fellow, like I'm a billionaire. You're a billionaire. You were a Democrat from Silicon Valley. Things have changed. This is a big deal. What did you make of this?
When the let's say, move out of California, it's first of all, there are two parts to it. One is that a lot of the In-N-Out burger joints are going to stay in California, but Trixie and the family and the headquarters are moving out, which I'm not surprised, because what's happening is there is a lot of pressure on small and medium businesses, especially in low tech, on too much regulation of the progressive policies, too much of opacity. There is a lack of transparency on how these regulations work, and pressures on the small and medium businesses. So I'm not surprised that she's leaving. I think I just hope more of this doesn't happen in California. Otherwise, we're going to have, the people are going to suffer at a lower level.
I was hoping for In-N-Out burgers here in New York City, but we'll talk about that because what's happening here. But, what would be your message to Governor Gavin Newsom?
Well, Gavin is a friend, actually. My message to Newsom would be have weekly meetings with founders of small and medium businesses. It's critical to have this weekly meeting to understand what the pain is. The pain points and the suffering of small and medium businesses in non-tech is so massive that we're going to see huge number of layoffs in the workforce, and this is going to come back to bite the Democratic movement in California.
Are they listening?
Gavin normally listens to people like us. I hopefully this will happen, but I'm not sure. Let's see.
Look, we're in New York City, right? Okay. A lot of people are talking right now about Zohran Mamdani, right? This self-declared socialist. People are concerned this year in New York City.
Well, socialism almost killed San Francisco. So we have a data point right there. What New Yorkers need to do is watch and look at what happened in San Francisco in the socialist policies of Mayor London Reid and what that did to the city. So right now, thankfully, because of AI, boom, we are seeing a resuscitation of San Francisco. But that's not going to happen in New York City. San Francisco came back because the AI rescued it. New York is not going to be rescued by similar AI, boom here. And Zoran actually is a friend's son. His mother was a film director from India. She's a good friend of mine. And I despite all that, and I think he's a fine young gentleman. I think the way he wants to get to the same pain point that all of us are trying to address, which is better cost of living in New York. He's trying to approach it through progressive radical means, through socialist means. That will kill not only real estate but other aspects of banking and other stuff.
Do you have an opportunity to talk to him about your concern?
I do, and I'm planning to.
You're planning to. You haven't yet.
I haven't yet, but I'm also just FYI supporting Mayor Eric Adams.
Okay, interesting. So here's the thing. I was on the train coming back from D.C. I was hosting there, and there was a young lady right in front of me, and I was sitting down a crowded train and making a phone call. And
All right, so I'm not going to go through too much of that, but it kind of give you an idea of why they're leaving. They're leaving because of the regulations in California. One of it got to be whenever California passed that you got to pay workers in fast food up to $20 an hour, a minimum. Well, let's talk about that. A lot of these fast food restaurants do not want to pay their workers $20 an hour because they can't afford to. I mean, you got some in small towns that'll do 14 or 15 to get work, some as high as 16. But going $20 an hour, that is breaking up their model. That's making them go broke. So that's why a lot of them are packing up and saying, I'm out of here. I can't deal with it. And not to mention the whole crime, too. Crime is crazy in California right now. Y'all already done seen it. San Diego, the Valley and stuff. People coming in with groups at the most with all weapons and stuff, trying to steal jewelry and stuff. Jewelers and everybody else got to go now and protect themselves with all kinds of weapons, even though liberals will tell you weapons are bad. You can't have that. You need to rely on the police when the police is scared to come over there because 9 times out of 10, if they deal with the bad guy, they could find themselves on leave because you got some blue-haired liberal telling you that you are doing too much force or you're supposed to talk to the suspect and get to be their buddy. I mean, that's just where we at right now. Sad but true. Now, let's talk about the residents. Oh, we're not finished yet. All right, that's the business part. I'm trying to get the residents part. All right, let me go find the recent one. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up, guys. Give me a moment. And this is coming from somebody that's coming from California. And then why he left? California. Here's the one.
This isn't just another protest. This isn't just another headline. What you're seeing is the breaking point. But here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. It's not just the riots. It's not just the crime. It's everything all at once. I am Adriano, and if you've ever looked around and asked yourself, what happened to this place? You're not alone. I was born and raised in California. I grew up loving the weather, the energy, and the freedom. But over the past few years, something shifted, not just in the city, in the people, the policies, and the spirit. And so today, I want to talk to you about why so many of us have left Los Angeles and still living it, what you need to know if you're even considering it.
And that's from somebody that's saying, consider leaving. Then here's another one. And this is a guy that says about the taxes.
They just voted to increase the state taxes to 16.8%. Which is that income tax or? Yeah, I'm in California and I love it here and I want to die here, but they're making it very difficult and I probably won't stick around much longer. I'm in Southern California. That's not bad. No, I mean it's great, but they're just so crazy here, especially with the taxes. They just voted to increase the state taxes to 16.8%. Which is that income tax or? Yeah. So you got to pay them that and income tax, and you got to pay the federal government, and you got to pay real estate taxes. Yeah, they're probably keeping 30 cents on the dollar. So 16.8% is what I have to pay to be in California. So on a $1 million income, 160 grand just to live in California versus if I moved next door to Arizona or Nevada, I'd pay zero. I'm Nevada.
So you saw that, you heard that. 30 cents damn near on the dollar. This man has to pay almost, even though if you're making $1 million a year. I want you to let this sink in now. $1 million a year. In a month that you could get to that $1 million a year, you already got in over $1 million a year, over bonuses and everything else. By the time you pay all that tax, your property tax, your real estate tax, because California believe in taxes. You really ain't clocking in. Instead of you getting like almost 200 grand a month, by the time you pay taxes, you only making like 105 to about 90 something thousand, because they done wrote you over the coals. That's why people want to leave. That's why people want to leave. That's why people are going to these other states in California. California is not the dream place to be. No one is now screaming, oh, I want to go to California. You even got celebrities that make crazy money in their niche, whether it's entertainment or whatever, saying the same thing. So this is what it is, man. All right, guys. I want to say thank y'all so much for hanging out with your boy tonight. I really appreciate it. Man, I mean, I never thought that I would have this many people come in on the new channel. I'm appreciative for the couples that I had, the 3 people, whatever. But I am back. I am not letting up. I am appreciative for everyone checking on your boy, trying to make sure I'm good and stuff like that. That really makes me feel good. Want to give a shout out to my boy Claude. He's a long time supporter of my show. This man been rocking with me when I had my old channel. So Claude LeBrie, I'm gonna give you a shout out on my podcast. Also, I want to give a shout out to to my homegirl JH as well. JH556. Appreciate you as well. Um, like I said, man, I appreciate everything that you guys do. Y'all are the truth. Thank you for rocking with your boy and everything else. And I'm gonna wrap up here and give y'all this tidbit for the night, and then I'm gonna proceed on so I can enjoy and rest for the rest of my evening with the lovely Miss Davis. And this is my final thoughts here. Um, we had police power under fire, which again, the moral of the story is not to get yourself in a trick bag. Please follow what the police tell you to do, because all y'all got one goal: to get back home to your family. No matter what you feel like is a BS traffic stop, you can always fight it in court. If you show up to court, you can fight it. It ain't worth you to find yourself messed up for no reason. Another thing about Shannon Sharpe that we learned is that it's okay to protect your brand at all costs, but at the same time, you need to protect your brand from now on, like you can lose it at all costs. That means don't be sliding in each chick's DM or these young girls and stuff like that, because everybody's on the come up. The Obama case, Obama Gate, or the Obama Russian hoax, we should not be surprised. Obama has been gunning Trump ever since Trump has entered in the political arena. And let's not forget too that, guys, don't listen to Obama about every young heterosexual male needs a gay mentor. That is no. You setting your child up or anybody else's child or young man up for failure. They don't need it. It ain't required. It's an option. Option as in, if you look around and get into a class or a study where there is a LGBTQ plus community member, if they know how to respect family boundaries and focus on the positive development of a child without forcing their rhetoric, again, I support it. But if you out here trying to force a rhetoric, I'm out. Can't do it. Let's see as we go down here. Immigration courts being shaken up. Not surprised. Judges, do your job. Quit trying to play hero to these immigrants. They don't pay your bills. They don't be the one that's going to dictate your career. Your career is to be a judge and to judge appropriately and accordingly. Quit acting like you're a political activist. If you want to be a political activist, you need to step away from the bench. You need to get you a card or something, a form, whatever, campaign started, and start campaigning to be some political figure. Because right now, this ain't it. And last but not least, California. Guys, you're going to continue to see people leave because of your taxes and your policies. Wake the hell up and understand it's time to get back to what you used to be when before all this progressive BS came into play. Because if you continue to go on that cycle, you are going to continue to lose businesses, citizens. Hell, you're going to be the laughing stock of the United States of America. That's all I got for you guys. Again, take care, stay safe. You got any suggestions, you know what to do. Follow the description below and hit me on my email. I love y'all for taking the time out to support a real G. With that being stated, y'all know what it is. I'm out of here.